my sunglasses like. Can I wear them? I have to. I can't even look. I can't even.
She's like a vampire.
All right. Where's my show notes?
All right, we're live.
Yeah.
So we'll do the Facebook thing. Oh, here we go. Go ahead, talk into your mic, me now.
So I should start, is what you're telling me. Hey, Facebook world. We're so excited to be here on another Saturday. And not just any Saturday, but, I mean, the most beautiful Saturday any January has ever given us. We're doing the Fireplace tour, yet again, the J&D waterproofing Fireplace tour. Now, last week we were in a house, gorgeous, one of the most gorgeous fireplaces I've ever seen. But seriously, nothing is going to top being outside here. We are at Chris Murphy's. He is our recipient this week, and we're in the North Hills area. And he has this like outside grotto that is absolutely perfect.
So we've kind of did a combination. Like Harry Larry needs to pay us twice because it's a combination fireplace tour and porch tour.
It is, Harry Larry.
Come on, Harry Larry.
I mean, are
grab
we
your
getting double
microphone
payment?
there.
He just shook his head. Like, I don't
What's
know
that mean to me?
Oh, wow. Welcome. It's always a welcome for Harry
So
Larry.
we're going to start the podcast here real quick. You're going to see people changing inside and out, and then when you can download the podcast on radio.com on Monday around 3:00. If you're lucky enough to be a subscriber, you get it early, and then if not, you're on YaJagoff.com on Tuesday.
That's it. Easy enough. So are you ready to start?
This is what we do.
Here's your sheet.
Thanks.
Here's mine. They were telling me to be ready. You want me to start?
I'm ready.
Rorick Honda starts a new slate this week. While used cars are always While used cars are always an option to buy, a slew of 2021 models are in demand since production changed the car options for many of the 2020 vehicles.
Whether an oldie but goodie or a new must-have high-tech vehicle, visit Rorick.com for all of your vehicle needs. And now we start the Jagoff podcast, J&D Waterproofing Porch/Fireplace Tour, number 2.
That was really good. From, ready? Murph's Turf. Boom!
Oh, you did that. All right, so if you're watching on Facebook, this is where you'll hear our music opening, and then we go right into this. So this is the Jagoff podcast, and this is podcast number 2 for 2021. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that you showed me a post the other day that said 2020 went in and put a wig on and came out as 2021. So nothing's funny. Really different. Everybody, that's what this podcast is all about.
Well, this podcast is we've learned from the crap of 2020 and we're ready. We're prepared. We're beefed and ready.
Right. So if you're listening to the podcast for the very first time, don't be a Jagoff. Go to YaJagoff.com, go to radio.com, go to Apple iTunes and subscribe. We come out every week, 3 or 4 guests every week, and always something different, always something cool about Pittsburgh. So we ask you that you subscribe, and if you're on iTunes, leave us a message. Give us a couple stars. Yeah.
Definitely check us out on our blog, which we have to say, one of our guests today is a best of winner like we were for podcasts, but we actually took second in blogs. Boom. We haven't said that enough. So check out our blog every day.
Second is the first place loser.
I know.
That,
I will
right?
James Harrison that. It's not number 1. So check out the blog post every day. The one that we have to pull out for this week was actually on Elyse yesterday for the Jagoff of the week, which was CCAC is doing classes to get rid of your Pittsburgh ease. I don't know why. I don't understand. I mean, it's like I do because I hate Pittsburgh ease. We know that. I hate it. I hate it.
You are probably teaching the class and you're beating people. You're like the Dragon Mom instructor. Stop saying ins.
Right, but you caught that CCAC did not put an H on
I didn't actually. Lindsey Kramer did.
Okay.
Said, they didn't put the H in Pittsburgh in the description.
Isn't that funny?
Right.
Anyway, so check out our blog every week and definitely listen to our Daily Dose of Happiness every day at 4:55 with Cal on Air on Star 100.7.
Right.
How's that? We
it's
get
nice
it all
and tight, Rach.
All right. For the Fireplace Tour, we have to thank a couple of our... We're not calling them sponsors. They're our partners because they basically donate stuff to be part of the J&D Waterproofing Fireplace Tour. And that means that the owner gets the stuff. So look at all this stuff.
We have North
Chris
Country Brewing, which, of course, in March is going to have the Jagoff Parking Chair beer. We have Fathom Pub Sauce, which is about to come out in March with Fathom Jerk Jagoff sauce. We told them, nobody's a jerk in Pittsburgh. You're a Jagoff.
You're a Jagoff.
Right.
So Mancini's, get with it. We don't have a Mancini's bread yet. We need a Jagoff bread. I mean, because that's my downfall.
And the homeowner gets one of our 2021 4th year in a row Pittsburgh Parking Chair Christmas ornaments thanks to Mary Mac Bakehouse, who did all the work on them.
We got it all out in like 3 minutes.
Now it's time
Harry
to start
Larry,
a
what do you want
podcast.
to talk about?
You're exhausted just watching it, right?
No, thank you so much. We talked to Sean last week about this is your 4th year doing either a porch or a fireplace podcast with us. We love the fact that you've been our sponsors. Honda loves the fact that you're coming in with them as well, because you've really brought the customer service aspect of J&D Waterproofing. 82 years and counting. Is that right?
Big time.
Yeah. Listen,
82.
unfortunately, there's nothing you could do to change this place. It's gorgeous, and I think it's all in tip-top shape. So you have to take
We
your
could take a sledge to it, man.
That's what I like. Some guerrilla marketing right
yeah,
there.
Yeah. No, we've been in there 82 years, 30 men, 5 crews. We're bouncing out waterproofing all the time.
Yeah. And that is a yearly thing, right?
Yearly, never stops.
Yeah.
So we're in the trenches all the time doing a fabulous job.
Is there something about this cold? Obviously, it's not cold today, but the super cold where this happens, water kind of drains and then freezes and cracks?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's always a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the wintertime, you get expansion and contraction constantly.
Yeah.
I just got done saying that, remember?
Did you?
Now we do have to say that you don't
Steal
only
my
do
fire.
you don't only do waterproofing, because we know that the Renebecks have some swanky new windows on their house thanks to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Sean wasn't listening to me last week. When I tell you
So,
my
what's
husband,
new?
fancy that. When I tell you my husband works construction and used to come home like a woman in menopause. He now walks in and he's like, I'm so cold because life is changing, and he's in his 40s and he cannot wait to get in our house. And I am dripping with sweat because the windows are so good. It has changed what even our payments are as far as our gas bill because of how good, the
It's very true.
insulation is.
You
Yeah.
can get a good window, but you also have to learn how to put them in properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's different procedures as far as different foams,
Yeah.
different things going in to seal it properly.
Right.
We go through it all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of roofings, a lot of windows,
Yeah.
different
Oh, you
things.
just
General
said that.
remodeling,
Yeah.
remodeling all the time.
I didn't know you did roofing.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of time. Metal roofs, we've been very competitive with people.
Okay.
But we do a lot of asphalt still.
Okay.
Tear them up, complete job all the time. Gutters, downspouts.
And
goes
now with
along
this
with it.
Pittsburgh weather, you could do it any time
Right,
of year.
and exactly in the geographical area, Western Pennsylvania, including some West Virginia.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know, about an hour and a half to 3 hours radius, especially with waterproofing. We will go to
Okay.
places.
Cool.
A little
Boom.
bit with modeling, we hold it back with remodeling. But,
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
as far as water goes, have water, we travel.
Oh, that's
We're
we're gonna hashtag that.
Like,
B.
yeah. Yeah.
Paladin, where do you
Paladin,
have gun
I got it.
travel? Yeah.
Right.
Harry, Larry, where does everybody find you? Do you know?
Find me.
J&D Waterproofing.
Oh, yeah. That's where you find me. I'm a sales rep.
He's like at whatever podcast
He's
where
like,
there's
Rachel,
beer
where are you
and
going
food.
next? Yeah.
Yeah.
So at jdwaterproofing.com.
That'll work.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'll work.
and we're now, we watched you come down the steps, so we're actually going out. If you're an orthopedic surgeon that does knees, we'll take the next sponsorship for Harry Larry.
I got to lose a few pounds, but I'm ready.
Right.
I love
Now
it.
make sure you have, now at least, what's the bakery?
Oh my
Bartram
gosh.
House Bakery. So please,
Look at that.
Harry Larry, dig
I
through
don't
that.
want to look at it. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Thank you so much to
So
J&D
you're listening,
Waterproofing.
you're watching on Facebook. This is J&D Waterproofing. We'll make sure we put their link in the comments. And now we bring in the homeowners, right?
Yep, Amanda has
All
it
right.
on.
So
Ready? Thanks, Harry.
thanks, Harry Larry.
We have this down to a science, brother. Yeah. We appreciate it. I hope you feel better. If you talk to Sean before I do, we'll text him on. Can you get through? Okay. Do you hear me?
Yeah, no.
We'll text him on the next one because I think it's going to be the North Hills again. All right.
I'll be here. Sean will be here.
All right, Chris, you want to come on down? All right. Hey guys, you sure you're warm enough? Okay.
You're on my mask.
Okay.
Dude, listen, it is
Oh, sorry.
warm out. Are you sure you don't want to come over here? Oh, you can even sit
here.
behind us.
All right. So
The side of my face. Edit.
don't mess up that Azazu hair on the right side.
I know.
Right?
Not today.
Little did we know we would be going for hair and things. Not makeup yet, but hair.
Yeah, not yet. Amanda, we're so glad you're here.
All right.
Yay, me too.
We're going to make you
All
tell us.
right.
It's part of
Just
our-
if you don't mind giving me a 10 count, if you don't mind, just make sure.
Please do it right. You know how he gets.
Do
No,
I
see,
go
she'll talk.
ascending
She
or
will talk
descending?
incessantly during that.
Yellow, yellow,
Yeah.
yellow.
This is how I'm going to talk on the podcast. Yes.
So 10-9-8-7-6-5-4.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Maybe
And
you
I
did
think
it
we're
before.
good on yours because we already did yours, so we're good. All right, ready?
You're talking.
Just
she
have
will
to
do
get real
nothing.
close. All right, here we go. So we are with the homeowners, right? And this is an amazing, again, porch / fireplace.
Yeah,
door.
you're
Come
going
on
to have
up
to
here.
look at the photos that Colin will take whenever we post this, the edited version of the audio, because it is absolutely gorgeous. So we have to talk to the homeowners to find out like how we can all move in. I mean, do this at our own place.
When is the sleepover?
We just got rid of some folks in our home recently.
Sure, I know.
We
like
did.
Kids, right?
We did, yeah. Our oldest is gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's her bedroom. It's now an office.
Okay.
There you go.
So
That's the
you
way to
are
do
empty
it.
nesters?
No.
No, okay.
No, we still have two
just
that are
have-
hanging on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're 30 and 41.
They are. Yeah. We're in our 80s. Yeah.
No, but listen, the story behind this, you look great.
Thank you.
Really do.
Thank
yeah.
you.
The story
Yeah.
behind this is I've known Chris for, 20 plus years at this point. He, again, was with my dad's band, Johnny Angel and the Halos. For a while, he was the young, whippersnapper, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, they called me
Well,
Skippy.
And then he was like, I'm done with the old people, so I'm
Yeah.
going to move along and do some more stuff. And maybe you heard of this little band called Totally 80s. He was a little bit of part of that too. So he knows so much about music, and you've now kind of dug yourself into so many different facets of the music industry because you love it as your passion and you're good at it, but you found that there's all these other parts to it, right?
There are a lot of tentacles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we're going to talk to you and your partner about that, but we want to talk to you and Amanda about maybe a little bit something called fusion. Can
Oh,
we go
sure.
into that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amanda, you're the person in charge of fusion. Uh-oh. Are you the girl behind it?
Oh,
Yeah,
there's your mic.
I do. A little bit, yeah. He's the guy who controls everything, but I am doing the day-to-day business
We're gonna talk
end
about
of
that later.
things.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what
this is a
if you
therapy
were-
couch.
Yeah, right. I think I lost somehow. I didn't even say anything.
If someone were to say to you, so what do you do during the day? What would your explanation be, especially for fusion, if they didn't know what that was?
So we book at venues around the area, mostly right now because of the way things are, which is just basically Craft House, because we are part owners of the Craft House Stage and Grill.
Yeah.
So I book all the local bands for Friday and Saturday nights, acoustic on Wednesday. So I have to, book the bands, I do contracts, and then we do the, paying them and
Yeah,
all
the
the
whole behind the
accounting.
scenes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize all of that goes into it. So, what is that like? Being you can do it from home, luckily, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is that like? Are you constantly like reading? Who's the hot band? Are you going to WYEP sites? Like, what is that like? Seriously, to keep up on what's local and what's hip.
I do a lot on, just going through Facebook and checking out, like web pages for the bands and the other local venues too, to see who's playing out in those places and seeing what kind of chatter there is about the bands
Right.
that are playing, and how much activities on their Facebook pages and their social media to see what kind of if they're popular and if people like them and if they are doing well and that kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, there is some research that goes into
Sure.
it. It's not just like
You're hired.
right, exactly. And
Yeah.
we get a lot of inquiries, emails that come through. And so we have to do the due diligence by checking out their, electronic press kits and listening to their audio and watching their videos to see like what kind of stage presence
That's
they
right.
have,
Yeah.
because sometimes a band can sound really good, but if you look at a video of them and they're like just standing there,
Yeah.
like nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Right.
And if
Great
they're
point,
not
yeah.
up to par as far as maybe they're a really good sounding band, but they have an awful Facebook presence or whatever, do you offer to help them with that? Or is it sort of like, oh, well,
That's a good
there are so
question.
many bands, I'm not here to help, I'm here to hire.
Yeah.
How does that, is
Yeah.
it tough
That
like
actually, Chris does that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that I learned, and it was from your dad, right? It was music is the easy part, business is the hard part.
Yeah.
Right? So you can be one of the best bands in Pittsburgh, you could be one of the best bands nationally, but if you don't have a good presence about you from a business acumen, you're not going to go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
It's how you treat people, it's how you put your Facebook messaging out there, it's how you do all of that, right? So if they don't do that well, they're not going to have a presence and people aren't going to know about them, right?
Right.
So, a garage band might be a great band, but they can't get out of the garage either. So I do offer to help them. We do consulting as
Okay.
well. Some have taken, a part of that, but most think that they're going to just make it, right? And so we give them an opportunity. If they want to do that, great. If they don't, then we'll move on to the next band. And then sometimes they'll come crawling back and say, well, you know what, maybe we do need some help.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Have you also been able to help sort of, a band is a band. They know how to play music. And again, the business side of it, the business side added on right now is that how to figure out how to exist online or whatever.
Right.
And we've had some guests on where we say, well, are you writing new songs or performing new songs? And they're like, no, because we'll write them and perform them. And then when people see us, they'll want to see other songs, more new songs.
Right.
But are you helping at least them trying to figure out the whole COVID thing? Helping them, what's the swear word? Pivot.
Pivot. Oh,
I hate that
Haven't
word.
heard that word
I'm
in
sick of COVID. I'm sick of pivot.
6 hours.
Yeah.
wow. There's a lot of letters and V's in that. Both of them. Maybe that's it. Maybe you hate V's.
I hate beans.
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
are so tired of the word pivot. Like 2021, we thought was going to get rid of the word pivot, but everybody's still pivoting.
Wonder if we change the whole word and maybe Pittsburghese it and call it COVID.
There you go.
Pivot.
COVID. Yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously.
So no, I think short answer is no. We have not done that because there's not a lot of bands that are seeking that.
Okay.
A lot of them are either on hiatus,
Yep.
All right.
or some bands have broken up.
Yeah,
Full
I
visibility, full transparency. I was in Totally 80s up until July of this past year. I really hadn't performed in a long time. I enjoyed spending time with my wife, the family, not performing,
Yeah.
and it changed the dynamic for me personally, so I quit. And that was a difficult choice for me, but it was also one that was timely because they weren't performing.
Yeah.
Right? There are bands, and prior to my departure, and they're still doing this, the band is, so we'll do Zoom presentations. So
Yep.
I'll record a part, the next person will record a part. And so putting all
I
those
love
pieces,
that.
thank
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
all those pieces together makes, a song. So you have to mix it down and everything. And Liz is still doing that
I was
with the
going to say
band.
Liz, yeah, but I'm not just saying this, but obviously that was one of my favorite bands. But the fact that you're doing that is so different. It's just different enough because when I'm not pitching us, but we just did the Santa Claus is going downtown thing for Duquesne Light to raise money. So if you shared it, they were giving $5 to Project Warm. And someone said, I love that you got pieces of a Pittsburgh song and had different Pittsburgh people sing it. Same as you. You took what everyone else is doing. They're just simply going online, figuring out the Facebook algorithms. What's the best time to come on and perform? You've put more thought into it and said that's a difficult thing because you don't hear anybody else. You're doing your part and hoping that this sticks, right? Fingers crossed.
And you put it all together and you hope
Yeah.
that rhythmically and musically it's in tune, it's in rhythm, it's not easy. So
No.
Yeah.
if more bands would take more initiative to do that, I think it might make the gap in the transition period a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're saying that we're not happy that bands are still finding ways to
Sure.
thrive. But I just think that who knew this was going to last this long?
Yep.
And now here we are going into a year. So now what do? You
Yeah.
you have to keep reinventing.
And
Right.
so how you're helping is helplivemusic.com,
That's
right?
right.
How about that?
Boom!
Boom! How about that segue? Yeah, I caught on that. We did a turkey.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
No, my husband. Wow.
Oh.
I don't know
Did
what
that hurt?
was. My husband doesn't high five, but John does. So I'm always like, yes, I get a high five, but he didn't. He ruined that. I took that.
We high
bubble.
five and then
Yeah.
she makes fun of me.
Yeah, that's what Willie does. He's like, I'm not high fiving. Loser. Sure.
But Help Live Music.
Yeah, help. Well, we should bring Vince in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
Amanda.
All right.
You talk.
Vince.
I'm so excited.
Here, we'll switch out.
Thank you.
Hold on, we have another topic.
Thank
we can
you.
put on there.
I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for welcoming us to your home. Seriously. Okay, and we're going to bring Vince in, so hold that thought because
Sure.
we want to know, where did that come from? Because, again, the reality of it is you've been a part of live music for so many years that the pandemic, I think we all went through phases. It scared you, and then it was, what do we do?
Right.
And then it was, how do we do something different than what that guy's doing?
Exactly.
Right?
All right. So, here we go. Start.
I was talking
No,
to Chris.
but we were making noise.
So now
switching
this
all
is, it's no noise, John. This is
I was-
foolproof. This is
Wait, hold
foolproof.
on.
Thank
All
you.
right, go ahead.
I hope everyone ends up not liking you after this. Because
Dude,
you're
you
mean
just
to me.
can't stop talking.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Chris, how are you
Hey,
doing?
Vince. All right, introduce Vince for us.
Hi, Chris Murphy.
Chris Merlina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, I'm sorry. So Vince is my partner in what we call Help Live Music, and it's kind of an extension of many things that are happening around the music industry, right?
Yeah.
This is more of a local thing that we put together, and actually Vince reached out to me about it. So I'll let Vince kind of give his background, but Vince and I know each other from Jurgles.
Yeah.
I met Vince at Jurgles. He's behind the bar,
Yeah.
throwing some bottles around and making people happy, and
Yeah.
maybe sometimes too happy. He's a heavy pourer, right?
I was doing what I do.
Yeah, right. So he reached out to me. He has a side business as well that is it's a printing company, and it's Merlin.
Merlin Graphics.
Merlin
yeah,
Graphics,
it's,
right?
Pretty much a full graphic design company.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he reached out to me because I was in a band. I've got the connection points with most of the venues and most of the bands in which they can get their merchandise and get their product out there. So because he prints and because I had those connection points, we decided why not try to give back to the community. So bands weren't playing.
Community or bands?
Yes.
So that we can, or both?
Yes.
The band community.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
And so it's more along the lines of bands weren't making money.
Yeah.
Right? Some venues are just offering performances for tips.
Yep.
Some have cut their rates in like a quarter, right? And some aren't even performing at all. But there are fans and friends and family that still want to be part of the band, i.e. Totally 80s doing the videos to try to stay connected.
Yep.
So what Vince does on a regular basis is he'll print T-shirts, mugs, logos, anything you want on those types of things, signage, everything, right? So, for example, let's just use Fusion Entertainment as an example. If I want...
Oh, you've heard of them?
No.
Okay.
It's a little.
Have we
company
mentioned
that they're-
Are they a sponsor? I don't. So I see anything on that table. Okay.
This cookie has a Fusion Entertainment.
I licked it off. Don't eat the top
This is
cookie.
the craziest podcast. yeah, I love it. You're going
So
on the road with
Fusion.
it.
All right.
Use
all right.
Fusion.
Yeah, so Fusion Entertainment, I want you to have a T-shirt for Fusion Entertainment, but we're not printing them. And so as a result, Vince can print one T-shirt. He can print 10. He can print 100.
Right.
So what we've decided to do is when a band or a company, a venue, YaJagoff, for example, if you wanted your logo on something, we'll print it. And by sheer nature of doing that, we will give a percentage back to you as a company, a band, a venue for nothing.
Got it.
So if Totally 80s...
By using you.
Correct.
Just by utilizing.
Right?
Okay.
And Totally 80s wanted to print their logo and say you wanted to buy the T-shirt. You would go on to our site. You would place the order. Vince would print it. Vince would send it out through the company. And once we established, let's just say it was a $10 T-shirt, we would take a percentage of that after cost and provide that back to the band just for no reason at all. And that's
That's
kind
awesome.
of helping to give back to the community, staying relevant with the community, the fan base, but
Yeah.
also allowing the band to stay relevant when they're not performing.
Awareness.
And they're not, as we heard on other podcasts, they're not even sometimes writing songs. So this is a way, I know it's not thousands and hundreds of thousands, but
No.
it's got to be some money coming in to keep the band name alive.
That's right.
As well, and keep them relevant.
That's
I
right.
love that.
And it's
yeah.
still merchandise, so people can still wear it and advertise at the same time. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Right.
There are some naysayers out there that say you're trying to steal our logo.
well,
Not so much.
Which we have a disclaimer that you're letting us use it.
Correct. We have a signature,
Yeah.
and said, we're allowed to use your stuff, and you're going to get money from it.
So it could be, a band doesn't have to even print their logo. They could have a saying like whatever,
Correct.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
They
Oh,
just
that's
provide
awesome.
that to us in a JPEG or a printable
Okay.
graphic.
Right.
He takes it, prints it, we ship it out. That's it.
Well,
and how has that business gone?
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. I just we're talking to different bands every day, and somebody signs up like, "Hey, yeah, we'll try it,
Yeah.
see how it works."
Because it's no cost to them.
yeah,
So might
I mean,
as well
we're
give it.
buying the mercmerchandise, printing the merchandise, shipping the merchandise, all out of our.
you have all the
pockets.
risk. Yeah.
Right.
and then they
You get money.
They get no
Yeah.
percentage of the profit.
That's awesome.
That's
Okay.
and I love the fact. Well, I mean, technically, the money goes right back to locally if it's a
Right.
local band, but they're doing almost no work to get some money to keep them alive.
It's sending an email and putting an attachment, which they can't seem to figure that out. So
No.
right?
Fancy that.
But yeah, they do.
There's
They
a
do
little
nothing.
button that says "Send your file here."
Yeah.
And then we said, no, seriously,
awesome.
send your file here. Yeah.
And now, so talk to us a little bit, Vince, about what did that conversation look like when you and Chris, was it sort of the same thing as I said, like, the panic sets in that this pandemic is completely shutting down hospitality, which is
Right.
your bread and butter. I'm sure production for a printing company.
Right.
What do we do? But also, and I'm sure like us, you look around you and you realize some people had it worse. So how do you help, but yet no,
Right.
I need to stay protected? Is that sort of
Well,
how?
Well, it kind of came as like I bartend at Jagoff.
Yeah.
And I love live music.
Yeah.
And when they shut us down, with everything, I'm like, all right. And I went to Chris. I said, hey, look. I said, all these bands aren't performing. Nobody's making money. I said, we need to do something to keep these bands alive and help them.
Yeah.
So with his connections, my abilities, what I can print and everything, I said, let's try this. Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
I love this because it's like your friend Dr. Barrett's who
Do you remember him,
engaged
Chris?
the
Yeah.
restaurants to go. He gave them money. He raised money to buy food to feed to people that were in the food deserts, and then turned out that the restaurant was making money during the pandemic, at least some money, in keeping their people. So this is very similar to that. Everybody helping their own.
It's just so Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
It really
that's exactly
is.
that's the right phrase.
Because you're right. It is so important. We recognize that it's a national pandemic, but you take care of your own first. And so you have to look at your city and figure out how does that work.
That's
you
right.
know?
And I think this could turn into something bigger.
Sure.
But because Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh, we want to kind of keep that a local thing and keep that alive.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh's a unique place to be. So if we can make a little bit of a difference, that's what we want to do.
Okay.
So if you're watching on Facebook today or listening to the podcast, if you're a band, you should get a hold of these guys, send them a JPEG, figure out how to do that.
That's right.
Send them a JPEG and an email. If you're a band fan, you should go to their website and see if your band is on there. If not, pick up the phone, call your band, and say, "Hey, you guys can make
That's
a little
right.
bit of cash."
Yep, it's very easy. It's helplivemusic.com.
Right.
We doing.
I'm never high-fiving again, that's for sure.
You're not even high-fisting.
Right? She put like half into it.
But also, I mean, for you, it's not just this initiative. There's still a printing need, right? So we need to know where to find you as well. So
Yeah. What is your company's website?
It's merlingraphics.com.
Okay.
Graphics is spelled Grafix.
we'll put it in the show notes for sure.
Yes.
And Fusion's with a Z.
Yeah, we know.
We're
it.
so trendy.
It's licked off, but it's with a Z.
And I'm
Yeah.
John with 2 N's.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Not
John with
really.
2 N's.
Just as of today.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just
I
trying to
don't
be
know.
trendy.
I have
Listen.
a V in my name. I'm a little.
Yeah, you should listen. Something about the V. I don't know what to tell you, but this is really, really smart. I'm not just saying that because, like we said, coming into this, we're not turning our backs on 2020. We're saying we are now resilient for what's going to come. This was a shock to everybody, so let's figure out how are we stronger going in. And I love that Pittsburgh really came to light. Everybody had a daily dose, a positive note, that kind of thing. But this is actually looking at it a little bit deeper and saying this is helping at various levels. So it's really, really a kudos to you.
So the good
Thank
news
you.
is this interview is just about over, and I finally you have to know that Rachel remembers everybody we've ever met. She usually tells me people we've met, and
I
on the
learned that
way
from
here
my
she
dad,
said, "Oh,
since
you know
Chris
this
said-
bartender?
Yeah.
He was at Jurgles the night we were there, whatever." I'm like,
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So we're now 12 minutes into the interview,
Well,
and
yeah,
I
we'll
remember
tell
An
him a
epiphany
story
happened.
right. It doesn't take it to bring it. But she'll always say,
Vince with the
she'll
V.
try to lead me on. She'll give me like 3. You remember we were at this place,
Yeah.
and it was about
And then
this
I can't
time,
take it
and we were
anymore.
eating
Yeah.
this, and I'm like, no.
What if it's like-
But I do remember.
Oh, you don't even know. Sometimes I write it on paper or I text him.
I see.
Say hello to your old neighbor, John.
Right, Mike.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. This was awesome. However we can help, we'll certainly promote it.
Thank
whatever
you.
we
We
can do,
appreciate it.
and we'll share it. But yeah, it'll all be in the show notes, right?
Question of the day.
Question of the day. We didn't ask Harry Larry the question.
It's
of the
all
day.
right.
Go ahead, you read it.
No, you go.
All right. Here's what happened, guys. On
you should be.
YaJagoff.com, we do.
I just saw it.
Well, listen, we do a question of the day every day on YaJagoff.com at 1:12. Now, this week, not Saturday, Sunday, sorry, Monday through Friday. So this week there was one that bombed, and it's this one.
So this is for you, Vince.
Oh yeah,
That's great.
yeah. This augured way
We
in.
have
It was
no
bad.
idea why it bombed because we thought we were super clever.
Yeah.
Is it easier to name one of the 7 dwarfs or one of the 8 reindeer?
Yes, I can do both.
Right?
Yes,
I
I
could
can
do them all.
You can do both, yeah.
I mean, there's songs about these things.
Yeah, right.
But which one is easier, or do you think both?
I can probably name the 8 reindeer better.
Better than
Yeah.
the dwarfs?
And all you have to do is one, right?
No, you have
We're
to
just
name
saying,
them all.
like, top 'em
If you had to
off.
name them
Yeah.
all, yeah. I think the reindeer come faster for me, just
Because
because.
you could do it in your head. Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and...
I have little
Comet and
kids,
Grumpy
so-
and Sleep. Oh,
Yeah, and people start making up dwarf names, Sneezy, Sleazy. They
Yeah.
don't even know what. Yeah,
Yeah. And don't go
Sleazy.
on YaJagoff.com.
Oh, yeah.
So-
No,
Sleazy.
seriously,
Nice.
thank you guys. And Chris,
Thank
you
you.
get all these goodies that aren't spit on.
Perfect.
perfect.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, next up, we are going to talk
Thank
to
you.
Elyse, who you might know from a little blogging here and there, and who brought some really delicious food.
Right.
She's a best of winner.
And if you're watching on Facebook, this is where we would have some music that in between each of the guests. And we can swap out. I did save this one here for Elyse. Oh, here it is. We can put this on Elise's mic.
Thank you.
All right. So
Split a cookie while we're talking to her.
I was waiting for you. Listen, I've had so much fun watching this podcast on.
How's it going? You enjoying it?
Like, I'm like, you just take it because it's really fun to watch right now, actually, with the fireplace.
Yeah.
So what do you want to split?
I said I wanted a little bit of everything, so.
Smart.
And like I said, I have to eat every 30 minutes.
That is so funny. Oh my God, I love it.
like,
That's
really
why you're so skinny. I had to
again?
figure that out.
Well, no, you can taste,
Okay.
All right. So our next guest, we wanted her. We had planned her to be on the podcast around February or March, and you're like,
Nope.
this is panic
Yeah,
time.
how about January 9th?
Yeah. How about tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right.
You're pivoting.
We were pivoting. That's what
Oh,
we
well
were
done.
doing.
Yes. Yes.
No, but a cool back. We love to give the backstory on how some of these happen. Tracy, who does all of our amazing podcasts, like she's the behind the scenes person. She gets us a bullpen of venues and people. But with you were on it. I promise, in it.
I believe it.
But what's really cool is, again, back to how Pittsburgh works. Our friend Amanda Narcissi from Bold
Yes.
Pittsburgh had messaged us and said, hey, can you guys talk about this new hashtag that we're doing on the Daily Dose of Happiness? And we said, absolutely. Like, how can we be helpful? Now, it says in the press release, and I'll let you get into the initiative, but it says in the press release for this hashtag that's helping local businesses, specifically restaurants, because let's face it, hospitality was hit pretty hard. She says, email me for a full list of people participating. I was flabbergasted at how many
Everybody.
Pittsburghers joined in.
Everybody identifies that this is an issue. We need to help everyone as much as we can. And let's face it, I'm tired of cooking. You're tired of cooking. We're going to order takeout anyways. So why not? It's so easy. Just put that hashtag there. And then when you're searching the hashtag, you can pick up all of these great places that maybe you've never tried before, see what people are ordering. So it helps all of the restaurants get some exposure. I know there's a lot of places that I've never tried that I searched the hashtag, and I got to try new restaurants.
Already?
Yeah.
Already.
So it's wonderful. And Amanda Narcissi, she's the woman behind Bold Pittsburgh. You have to check her out. She covers everything. So thank you to her for
sure.
really brainstorming this, because it's just helping everybody.
Yeah, for sure. But now we're calling you Elyse, but what is your...
I was just going to say, we talked about, there's a reason why you know all this food stuff, because your blog is...
Yes, my blog is Burgh Nosh. And it's funny, you're going to laugh. Burgh, obviously for Pittsburgh, but Nosh, I grew up with a foodie family. Thankfully, my parents let us try different things when we were little. I mean, I was that child that they would be eating a sandwich and I would say, Dad, can I have the lobster and the steak on the menu? And they would just let me go. They just let me be my person, my own self, and try new things. And in our family, when you want a little snack but nothing big, you say, oh, let's get a little Nosh.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it comes from. So it's a nod to my dad. And then certainly when I met my husband, he was like, what are you talking about? And now you ask him, he's like, let's get something to Nosh on after the podcast. I said, okay, let's do that.
There you
But
go.
that's really what it came from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And, speaking of, you won Best Of for City Paper. We didn't get to
Yes.
meet any of the Best Of winners because the pandemic. And so
Yes.
City Paper was not able
They
to
threw that awesome party down there in front of the truck.
I mean, it was banging.
the truck. Yeah. Yeah.
No, we're not ripping on them. We
No, they're
appreciate that they even
fantastic.
did that. But
Listen, I was so happy to get out of my house. I work from home, and I do virtual school with my 6-year-old. So any interaction with adults, especially today, you have no idea.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So she's going to call home and go, this podcast lasted 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That is so
Yeah.
funny. But yeah, so how long have you been doing Burgh Nosh, and how did it come to be Best Of? What was that like for you to see that that's finally the recognition?
If you really want to know, I hate cooking.
Yeah.
I love to eat out. I've always loved to eat out. Anything that I don't have to do the work. But really, it came from looking into my phone, and I had more pictures of food than I did my daughter. And I'm like, this is a problem. No, but really, my friends, I'm always talking about places I want to go and eat. And they're like, shut up already. Take the pictures that you took, that I'm tired of seeing these pictures, and put them on an Instagram page. And it was kind of a joke. Not a joke, but so I'm like, okay, and I'll start it.
Or
and
like something to do.
Yeah, it just kind of snowballed
Like someone
from there.
dares someone to be a comedian. Go up there and tell a joke at a bar, right?
And I'm like, okay, well, and I think I have something for everyone. I mean, I'll cover
Definitely
the high-end dining, which I love, but also there's this great gas station off of 80 that has these pepperoni rolls that are like $1, and they're so greasy, and you have to eat them standing up. And I'll share that, and I think that kind of
it makes
people
it real.
like that. Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
you can't be eating fine dining all the time, which.
Yeah. Well, you could,
Of course,
but you'd be broke.
you could, exactly. But you can't eat pepperoni rolls all the time.
go.
Where is that on I-80?
You know what?
I knew
I'll
you
send
were
it
gonna
to
ask
you.
that. I
It's
know.
this old gas station, but I'll send the information
Oh,
to you.
I want that. We're going to have to do a podcast from there.
I mean, we could all go together.
Yeah, there you
we
go.
could do it there.
There you go. So back to, we wanted, like I said, we wanted this to be more about the fact that, hey, this is what you're doing, and now you're a
Yes.
best of. And I love that it happened organically, because to
Absolutely.
me, I think Pittsburgh buys into that organic feel. Not
Yes.
buys in like they wouldn't be sold, but I think when they see that, like you said, your friends were like, you're kind of good at this.
Yeah.
Put this up somewhere. And now that became your platform. What I love is that got you to be the best of. And now you're using that platform to help with the hashtag. Talk a little bit about the hashtag and what it actually is.
For really what it is it's a way for everyone to see all of the different takeout options and all of the restaurants all in one spot, so you can see what people are ordering. There's a lot of they're not Pittsburgh foodies, but a lot of regular people who just love and enjoy food, and they're taking pictures too. Well, if I'm not following you, then I don't know all that great. I'm missing out on all that great food.
Right.
So it's a way for, I want to say professional foodies, but everyone around the city to go to one spot, see what restaurants are doing takeout.
Yeah.
Check out different meals.
Because there's more than people realize. And I think that was something Amanda said. Like, not everyone realizes that restaurants, they're reinventing, pivoting, whatever the word
Yes.
to. And you're helping get that word out to save the local businesses.
Yes, there's a new initiative launching next week. It's called Allegheny Eats. It's really cool because it's a home meal delivery kit, but you get these kits from a few local restaurants like Black Radish, Bebe's Kitchen.
We just saw
The
that from
Vandal.
Revive Marketing.
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe Next Pittsburgh just wrote an article.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So check that article out. I know they have more details, but it's awesome because you get to either pick up or deliver. They'll deliver to you these meal kits that you can make at home of your favorite restaurant dishes. But what I love about it is that 30% of the ingredients that they use are sourced from local Pittsburgh farms, which is really cool because you're supporting farms, you're supporting restaurants, and then also a portion of the proceeds goes to fund meals for restaurant workers. So
I love that,
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
everyone's winning, and plus you're getting. I can tell you how many times I wanted to eat at these local restaurants, but I just haven't gotten around to it because of the pandemic. So now I get to make my own meal at home in my pajamas.
Yeah.
It's great. I think everyone's winning. I'm pretty excited about it. I know they go live next week, so definitely stay tuned if you're following me. Because
And follow you.
I'm going to
Yes.
be making the meals.
Yeah. Oh, you
love
are?
Yes,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
We're going
So-
to do a tailgate with her.
Let's
yeah.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk to you
Okay.
about that.
All
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
So the secrets behind the podcast now
Yes.
is that we ask you a question that we're fairly certain is going to get a long answer so that we can take a bite of the cookies that you
I was
'cause
trying
we
to
both-
Good.
I was
was
like,
trying to, like,
John,
wait, it
rule
has
number
crumbs.
1, if I'm chewing, you can't, but you did. And so I was like, hurry up and swallow this because he's going to stop talking and that's going to be on me.
No, so that's I did not realize when what the Allegheny Eats
Yes.
thing that it has
a
to
great
be
concept.
30% has to be from
Yeah.
local. Wow, that's real, dude. That is your kind of thing. Like you tie so many things together. That's a
Pittsburgh,
Rachel
though.
level
Again,
thing.
No, and that's why we thought it was important. Again, we can't stress enough that we wanted to devote the time to you for what you've done as far as taking food to a different level, being real, being a mom, admitting that
Yes.
as a foodie, you don't like to cook.
No.
I think that's so
I don't
cool.
want to. I don't want to do dishes.
Same, right? And
No.
how many moms did you see through the pandemic, whoever you follow, so sick of cooking?
The
It's
dishes,
just-
I can't tell you. If I have to look at my dishwasher when I get home, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
No, but the pandemic has forced me to cook, to learn to be a better
Right.
cook. Because let's face it, if my husband did not cook, we would start.
Is he a good cook?
He is an excellent cook.
Yeah?
Yes.
By trade or?
He can put anything together, and it's delicious, and it's never a bad meal. And I hope he's listening to this. No, but
You're reading the script card very,
yes,
very well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I tried to wipe off the notes on my hand. No, but really, during the pandemic, I have learned to cook. I've learned a lot. I have a lot of great foodie friends who are chefs. One of my friends, Chef Aleka, she has her own pastry business. She's made things for me. She's inspired me to cook. And now, as terrible as it is, I'm spending more time with my daughter, learning recipes and learning how to
That's cool.
cook something.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what I can take out of this.
Yeah.
Spending time with her. She's
it.
very interested. She takes pictures. If you really want to know the truth, she takes all the pictures of me that you see on, on my page. Yes.
Is she 6?
She's 6. You can pay her in candy.
Yeah.
Or Build-A-Bear.
See, my kids, you can't pay in candy. We have to like pay them cash, or
Yeah.
else they don't do
Right.
it. That's so
No,
funny.
This-
Okay.
yeah,
I
it's
love
it's
it.
a family affair.
That
for
is
sure.
totally
Yeah.
cool. By the way, we just
It's
came
so
up with the
genuine.
next question of the day. Would you rather unload a dishwasher or the dryer?
Oh, good. Don't
Oh.
forget. So if you're watching,
Neither.
Sponsored by Burgh.
Yes.
no, please tell everybody where can we follow you. Talk about the hashtags.
Sure.
Where do we find all of this so that they can
If
become
you can
your
find
fans?
me in my crazy stories and posts and everything else under the sun at Burgh Nosh on Instagram, and certainly please follow the hashtag My Pittsburgh Takeout.
Yes.
PGH Takeout. So then you'll find a wealth of different restaurants, people supporting the local Pittsburgh scene, and also all the great food, because I'm sure it's going to make you hungry.
Oh, for sure.
No.
Well, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Not only you did a heroics deed, you came from the South Hills to the North Hills. Very few Pittsburghers do that.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't go from the North Hills to the South Hills. I shouldn't say that. I guess I'd come back.
Right.
There's some great food in the South Hills.
I've heard that,
That's
yeah.
another reason why I started it, because so many Pittsburgh foodies that I follow, they do a great job of doing downtown.
Sure.
And
Cultural.
But nobody's really taking part in experiencing the South Hills food.
Yeah.
If I can just say, the Capstone Grill is one of my favorite places. You have to
You're not
try
allowed
it.
to.
So, edit. Don't even listen to that
Rachel's-
for
No,
one
That's
but
okay.
second.
I really welcome everyone to come down to the South Hills.
No, that's
Yeah.
so awesome. And that's what we need more of, you know, is people truly giving, because opinion, that's what social media
Yes.
is kind of like passing the word along. So, all
I
right,
love it. It's like nobody knows. You wouldn't know. This is like your I-80 story. Nobody knows that in McKees Rocks,
Yes.
Rudy's Bar and Grill has the best hands-down ham sandwich you could ever have
That's what we're going
on
with.
Mancini's Bridge.
You should all go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we'll go there.
All right, question of the day.
Question of the day, and I'm sure you heard it, but you know this one bombed on YaJagoff.com. But is
So
it
we're here to
easy-
set you up for failure.
Is it easier to name one of the 7 dwarfs or one of the 8 reindeer?
It's funny you asked me this question, because we literally watched Snow White this morning, and I can't tell you.
Shut up.
Like dopey.
Okay.
But honestly, all the reindeer. If I sing it, I can
Right.
do it. But
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, my kids say everything I do is a song. Like if I call the dog, I'm like, Tanner. And they're like, Mom, shut up. But it's true. The
Like,
dog.
load the
or
dishwasher.
The dog. The song. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. We cannot thank you enough.
Thank
Listen,
you
we
so
say
much.
this to people who are seriously interesting. Feel free to come on quarterly
Thank
and
you.
just talk about what you have
This
going
was so
on.
much fun today. I don't
Yeah.
think I've laughed this hard in a
Well,
long
good.
time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
So my 2021 is off to a great start.
That's
There you
awesome.
go. Well,
We're so
awesome.
glad
So
to
is
hear.
ours. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you
we're
very
hearing
much.
music from.
Mark Ferrari. Am I saying it right? Ferrari? I haven't seen him in like years. I don't know if you.
If you were from Pittsburgh, you say Ferrari.
Ferrari-anette.
That's Mark Ferrari's
I would
down
not
there.
say that. So
Cool.
that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. And feel free
So
to stay,
interesting.
but you can also head
Or
out if
eat-
you want to. So.
Eat cookies.
All right, Katie?
And then what we'll do is,
You know what I don't
as soon
have,
as
Katie,
Katie's
as a
interview's
wipe
done,
for the
we're gonna get a
microphone.
full song that we record. You have a guitar? Okay. So we're literally gonna do it acoustically. We're gonna hold up. If you would prefer, if you have an MP3 that you want us to use instead for the actual audio, we can use it. If you're fine with it, we'll just use it from the audio from here. Okay.
Chris, you know what I didn't think
That's
of?
cool. Yeah,
Is
that's
a
fine. Thank you.
wipe to wipe the microphone for Katie.
We're treating you
I'm
like
sorry.
royalty, sister.
But I do want to take the head off.
Are you kidding? Like I can't wait to talk to you. I listen. I may cry. I may cry if I talk to you. But,
I have that effect of, oh my gosh, I can imagine what it's going to be like when I talk to people again. We're just going to like, it's going to be like this
I
and
know.
just sobbing.
I know.
be me sobbing and everyone else because they're all littler than me, and I'll be like, I'll be like, enjoy my snot.
No.
So much snot.
And actually, I have to tell you, I don't know if I'll bring it up on the podcast, but I was talking to my family about on New Year's Eve about the dress that you had on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like telling them, John was there, and
thank you so
I was
much.
crying. I was like, and then she put it on. My mom's like, wait a minute, tell me again, who's this girlfriend?
Who's this girl?
Oh, it's so funny.
Okay. Sorry for the noise on Facebook. We're just wiping down the microphone here. All right. There we go.
Face it, everything.
All right.
Whatever you want to do. If you're game, we'll do two. Because we'll record one. You could do one just to kind of hang out. Is that cool? Are you taking off? Do you
Yeah,
want
I'll
us
take
to
it
have
off.
on?
No, I'll be okay.
All right.
I think we're enough distance.
I think we're, okay.
I just won't.
Look at her face.
I have a
love
face.
Katie Dudas.
Dutters.
Hi.
It is so good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, listen, you could have told me that Zach Brown Band was going to be on, and I wouldn't care as much that we get to see Katie. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, it was this whim thing, like we were explaining when you got here, that unfortunately, because of the nature of the season, right, we're doing these really, really cautious fireplace tours, and we didn't want to pressure you, but we were like, if we could just see you, because you have so much to do with what's going on social media.
Right, because the last time we saw you, we were actually talking about you maybe coming to work for us.
Yes.
And you announced to us that you had some bad news. And we're like, wow, that's not the way we thought the meeting was going.
Surprise.
And since then, you've been documenting your diagnosis and your treatment and your recovery with from breast cancer. So let's go to all the important stuff. How are you? And how? I'm not going to ask you how it's been because that's a stupid question. But you've certainly done things to help it make it better for yourself.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
I am extremely lucky that I've been able to find joy in it and amuse myself. I think I'm
Literally.
usually amusing myself
Only you.
through this process, and it was just trying to find like, so I don't want to be like overly optimistic because cancer just sucks.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's dumb. Like those are the words whenever you kind of go through this and you're like, oh, it's awful. It's dumb. I hate it so much. But like just trying to find how I have a silliness about me, and I was thankful that I was able to kind of carry that into my process, because you go through it and you do it your way. Like I think I explained it to somebody like it's your wedding. Like this is all about you. Like this, you handle this how you want to handle it, and you make it your own journey. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody handles it differently, and then just kind of.
And
making
you're
your
not
own.
prepared ever, no matter what, right? Because I remember the last, we knew that you had cancer, and you were explaining to us how you had helped your mom through it. And then next thing you know is your turn. And it's totally, and I hate that term, but
Yeah.
it's the truth. It was your turn.
I think you kind of said that to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It was.
And so a lot of women, kudos to women. I mean, such strength to go on and try to, through social media, use the power of it positively and talk about it. But you took it to a whole other level, because we saw the silliness, but we also saw the days where you were like, I am so sick.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe that this is what I'm doing. And we were able, I don't want to use the word chronicle because it really kind of lessens it. You took us along the journey to say, like, here's what it is, and let's hope for the best. And when you rang the bell, oh my God, listen,
Oh, I cried.
cried. I mean, it was ridiculous.
But
It
then
was-
Sidney Crosby. So let's
Yeah,
set this
talk
up.
about
and
Sidney Crosby.
If anybody's watching, they go, "Who the hell is she?" Right?
Oh, she knows Sidney Crosby.
Yeah. Who the hell is she? Well, she is Katie Dudas on all the social media. And you have worked with Mike Sorg, our good dear friend. You have worked with, you've been a zombie for years. And,
Bold Pittsburgh.
let's see, Bold Pittsburgh. What else? You work at the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all this stuff. And so you're a woman about town that you'll always take the back seat to everybody. And so everybody knows the smile, but nobody knows what always you're up to.
Every zombie on this podcast was because of her.
That's right. Or it might have been her. If you remember,
Yes,
we were at
very
a bowling
sneaky.
event. I shook her hand. I'm like, oh my God, I noticed by her hands that it was her. I did not know that part.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're a person who has made you're a true and blue Pittsburgher, black and gold Pittsburgher, because of your heart and your soul. And that we saw that come out, unfortunately, when you had cancer. And
I know, seriously.
anyways, and there's, we've watched you and you're a close friend and Kira Sapaida go through the same thing at the same time. Well, similar things at the same time. And the way you both have displayed this,
Courage.
It's nobody wants cancer, but boy, if I have somebody who gets cancer, I'm certainly going to refer them to you because of nobody has your resilience.
And
like
has that happened? Have people reached out really?
Yeah,
so is that your mark?
Yeah, and I've dabbled, as you said, I've dabbled in a lot of things throughout my career, my lifetime, and like suddenly it's weird that I lost a lot of I don't want to be like I lost a lot of who I was, but a lot of the things that I thought made me are no longer part of me, but then you like go, oh, wait a minute. Like there's this whole thing, just talking about what I'm going through is able to help somebody else. And you kind of start realizing that how little people know about the cancer journey, like what you really go through, like what it feels like, what it is mentally and physically to go through a cancer battle. And just talking about it like made a world of difference to so many people. And the number of people who reached out saying, hey, I had a family member go through this. I had no idea it was this rough. And then you look at your friend or family member and you go, man, you are much tougher than I ever could have imagined. But I think that's great.
Did you find that strength, as so many people say they did, that I didn't know I was as strong as I was?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a hard time when people say, and this, like I said, everybody's different, but I have a hard time when people say, well, I did it because I had to. You always have the option to stop. And honest to goodness, when I got the phone call, I was done. I knew my mom had gone through it the year before, and I knew exactly what I was getting into. And I was like, I don't think I can handle this. And like you have those moments where you're like, I'm done. Like I still go through struggle with that. Like after being, I'm clear and everybody's like, oh yeah, you're all better. And there's still those moments. And I don't think that, when you have a friend or family member like that, you ring the bell, you're all done with your treatments and you're like, oh, you're 100% ready to go. And you're not, because it's always still there and you still deal with it. And it just,
even talking to you, do you remember, like, she was like, I think I'll be okay by Tuesday. And I forget when you had your chemo, and we were like, you hate to say, are you okay? And you're like, I'm not, I'm not okay, because you don't know what to expect. And like you said, every day is different.
Go ahead.
Well, I want her to talk about, she's that girl. If you don't know her like we know her, she's the girl who, the Penguins put on that Sidney Crosby gave her a jersey. I mean, microphone drop. I mean,
right.
Who can say Sidney Crosby?
He knows my name.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw my reaction.
Like? Yeah. His reaction was so genuine.
But I can't think of, I can't think of a person more deserving. Like, he had all the good things that you do for other people. I have a question. Like, when we have a veteran on, we say, hey, thanks for your service. And sometimes it seems like almost like, we're getting old, it's getting old. But when I don't know what to say, for you, it was like, hey, hang in there. Hey, stay strong. Love you. Whatever. Like, what does that help, or does that become, okay, there's another one that said stay strong. Not that you're foregoing their caring or their passion for you, but does it help? Because I sit there and think, like, it's easy for us to type stay strong, push forward, but we're not going through it. You are.
Yeah.
So how does somebody help with someone like you going through that?
I think for me personally, like, even just a lot of people don't talk to you because they don't know what to say. And I think there's been situations with that. And I've gone through the same thing personally, where I've seen someone lose somebody or go through something and you're like, I don't even know what to say. Just, we're here for you. I love you. I think that's the best thing that has come out of this pandemic is the fact that we're all saying I love you to all of our friends, because I think we appreciate each other so much more.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And I think that's like something that means a lot coming out of this, going, I can tell my friends I love you. I text messages like this. I mean, not that, I remember it was always weird, like, oh, love you too. Like, you do the love ya. Yeah. Because you don't want to be like the LUVYA, because you don't want to like fully
I'm not
commit.
being serious here.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, that's a fact, because my buddy Gary Harbaugh has done that. He's starting every time we hang up the phone. He says, I love you, man. I love you. And it's gone from I love you, man, to I love you.
And you're sappy and all, but don't you want to hear about Sidney Crosby? Because you've shut me off twice.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Don't you want to know? Like, she knows him.
I'm sorry.
It's like Buddy the Elf. Like, and he knows her. And he said that. He was like,
I'm sorry.
Know her.
I'm sorry.
Talk about what that moment was like for people. And not that we're lessening all that you went through, but because of what kind of an example you were, someone like Sidney Crosby recognized it.
Yeah, it's wild. I've been part of the Penguins organization, I think 11, going on 12 years now. It's been a while. And I started out as an intern for them years and years ago. And I work with the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation, the 50-50 raffle. You've probably either seen me around or an event. I'm there for premium seating with the events, and here and there and everywhere. And my friends from the foundation were like, hey, we want you to come in. We want to, we're doing something, for Hockey Fights Cancer. We still want to do something. Can you come in? We want to have you ring the bell in the locker room. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
Right.
And I was super excited. And I asked my mom, I was like, hey, are you off this day? Because, I wanted to. My mom is huge Penguin fan, like take me times 100. And I was like, hey, can you, come down? I didn't tell her exactly. I thought I was being slick and just telling her, they want to do a thing. I want you to come with me. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll come with you. And, I had an expectation and my mom had an expectation. And then I got in there and I walked in there and I saw, the crew from Pens TV, and I saw my friends from the foundation, and I walked in and was like, hi, friends. And you saw that in the video. I was like, hi, friends.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and I saw the jersey with my last name, and I'm going to cry because every time I talk about this, I cry.
Well, I cried watching it, so feel free.
No. Oh, my name was on a jersey. And to me, I don't think you realize the impact you have on other people until those people tell you they love you, or they do stuff like this, and for them to put my name on a jersey, holy crap. Yeah. And then so that's why I walked out, because I was starting to sob, and then it just kept getting, I don't want to be kept getting better and better. But Dr. Puhala, my oncologist, came in with me, which was super nice of her to come out, and she's a Pens fan. And so we're watching the videos, and they're showing, my coworkers from the foundation, and saying all these nice things, and I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm crying because I know, we're just like, and then freaking Sidney Crosby's like, hey, Katie. I'm like, what?
You're like, hey, Sid. You're like, oh my God.
You're like, here's my ring. Where's the finger? Here's my finger. Where's the ring?
Yeah, I know. Casually. And the NHL, oh my gosh, I think that was the funniest part to me was NHL.com and their Facebook page and their website did this side by side of me and then Sid's like, I'm Sidney Crosby. I'm like, and I could see the cartoon hearts it looked like around my head, and it was like, oh, this is amazing.
No, but in all seriousness, kudos to that, because my kids look at Sidney Crosby, and I proudly as a mom am thrilled that he's someone they look up to, because he is such an iconic person. Mm-hmm. What a good dude. And the fact that he saw that because of he kept saying the service that you've provided for us. I mean, he recognizes that wasn't scripted. You could truly tell that there was a genuine, bond between the two. So I don't know. You can't pivot like this.
No,
the best
but let's talk about it. We're starting to get happier and happier because you are feeling good.
Yeah.
But not only so talk about your service to Pittsburgh. There's a hashtag out there. We understand you're behind.
Yeah, we were, Amanda was a guest on our Awesome Cast podcast, which I'm on with Michael Sorg, which is Sorgatron Media. We're all connected. I love it so much. And we chat. Sometimes we chat after the show's over and just, whatever, depending on who the guest is, chit-chat about things. And she said, I want to do this thing where, want to help push, takeout at Pittsburgh restaurants because we need to save, do what we can to keep everybody in business and stuff. And she's like, I have this idea, but I can't figure it out. And it's so often, and I'm sure you guys have done this, where you I have this idea, but it's at the tip of my tongue.
Yep.
How does it go from this to boom, the full idea? And her talking through things, and she's like, I just need a hashtag. And I was like, how about PGH takeout or something along those lines? And I said, check out my PGH takeout from, hashtag PGH takeout from Permanis or wherever. And so it's such a simple thing, and it falls so in line. It's so natural that it doesn't, a lot of hashtags are intrusive.
Yes.
Or they're hard to spell.
Or selling, too much selling, or yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then this one was just no, this is me genuinely excited about what I'm about to eat, which we all are excited about what we eat because we all love to eat anyways. And she was like, oh, that's perfect. And it just was so simple, and it was so easy, and it was just that's it.
Yeah. Well, I love that. She 100% gave you all the credit for that. So, and like you said, it was the simple solution to what Pittsburgh is looking for, just like all the other guests have talked about. We've prepared for 2021 because we know what to expect at this point, and we're helping.
Yeah.
I literally helping, and not just saying, oh, we'll give, or if we get proceeds. It's literally directly helping local
I mean,
restaurants.
it's been a perfect theme. Chris and Vince are helping bands. You guys, again, the restaurant workers, as we know, nationally have been the most affected, right, at this point. So it's awesome that, whatever we can do to keep the restaurants alive.
Yeah.
We met the owner from Excuses. He's owned it 32 years, and he might go away. You know what I mean? That kind of thing,
we
right?
don't want that to happen.
Yeah. So,
And I feel like we all want to help, but
yes.
we're not all in a position that we can, because we're all trying to pay our rent. We're all trying to do, but you want to, we're all trying to help each other.
Yeah.
But like, it's such an easy way, and finding those little either ways, either talking about your story or sharing what you're eating can make a world of difference to somebody else.
Yeah. Two
Well-
questions before the question of the day.
yeah, listen, you're someone who made a difference in the world to many people prior to this. So,
No question.
yes.
Number one, where does everybody follow you at this point?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm Kate Marie PGH on Instagram. I put stuff out on there. My Facebook page, I'm Katie Dudas on Facebook. You can find me. I have all of my cancer videos public on my Facebook page. I'm K Dutters on Twitter. I'm here and there. On there, I'm not on there as often. But yeah, I put a lot of stuff on my Instagram. I am going to be picking Amanda's brain. She doesn't know this yet, but I kind of warned her because I'm trying to figure out like how I'm going to put this all together. Like I want to put this together as a resource of just my personal experience. And like I said, everyone's different, but like I get a lot, people have the same questions, which is great. And I love answering questions. I love being able to go like, oh, you need to vent about this. I know what you're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And like trying to put this together, and it's trying to figure out like, okay, building a whole thing. Like, what is it called? What do we do? What do we do? How do we do this? How do we get this out here? But yeah, so I eventually want to put it together.
If you're
as a resource.
afraid and you have a loved one that's had this diagnosis and you're tiptoeing around what to do, Katie.
Yeah, and if I can always, what the nice thing is like a lot of these Facebook groups that I've joined have been great. Supporting what everybody is going through, and I can even point you in the direction that might fit best for you.
Yeah.
And especially there's a lot of great ones locally, and we're very lucky in Pittsburgh, I think, to have so many people that are willing to talk to each other and answer your questions.
Okay, second question. We waited 8 months to ask you if you're going to come work with us. I don't know. I don't know. Colin, don't you want her to work with us? I mean, we need her social media. So we won't put you on the spot, but don't think we're not going to email you.
My brain's working again.
I wasn't going to ask that. Like if your brain's working.
Oh my gosh, no. Chemo brain is 1,000% real. But yeah, but definitely
We'll
it's
talk.
like, for sure.
And then obviously the question of the day, which you've heard. So tell us, which one? Is it dwarfs or is it reindeer?
It's always reindeer because there's a
song.
It's a song. And I haven't watched Snow White in 1,000 years either,
Right.
so I feel like I'm not very good
Listen,
at that.
you are contagious. Your positivity and you truly amaze me. It's not just something to say. We have enjoyed, thank you for letting us be on your journey because it has humbled me to be a part of it. And you've really been an example of what to teach other people.
There's no question.
And I can't say this enough, and I hope I never ever come across cheesy when I say this because it's 100,000% true. But like, I would not have survived 2020 without like you guys, my friends, and my family. It just the texts, the messages, the cards, the just hey, how you doing? Like thinking about you, just it. And like you said, you asked, and just knowing people are in your corner, it just makes things so much easier. And honestly, it gives you a reason to keep moving forward because it's like,
Because everybody has a thing. Even if it's not cancer, it's something.
Yeah.
So. All right, done. Katie, you have to be
All
done.
right.
You have to be done.
All right. So on Facebook Live, we're going to watch.
We're going to cry.
We're going to watch some music being played here right at the fireplace, right?
I mean, how beautiful is that?
Yeah. Cool.
All right, have
cool.
a cookie.
Thank you.
Colin just has to get a video with you. Oh, Katie, that was awesome.
thank you so much for doing
Oh, my God.
I was like, don't cry.
I know.
Yeah,
same.
forget that.
And you had to tell the Sidney Crosby because you deserved that. Like you were so genuine when you were with him, and it was just
I wish
crazy.
you could have seen me walking around my oncologist because I've been in the locker room before. When I've worked behind the scenes stuff. I've been down on the level before, beside the ice, and I'm like, it's not there obviously, but I'm like, oh my gosh, come look at this. I mean, like I look like a little kid just like dragging her around like here, and I was like, who's your favorite player? Take a picture in front of their jersey, like just or their locker.
Yeah.
Like I was just like doing this thing because it was like I felt like such a little kid, like having their parents at work.
Oh.
Bring my mom. And
Bring my mom to
oncologist.
work then.
Colin has to get a video with you.
Yeah.
We're ready for Mark.
This was
I was
awesome.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, I find really good guests.
hi.
Dude, and we can put these things together. Like
Chris, I find really good guests.
You sure do. I'm going to come down and stoke that fire.
Come down.
I will.
Oh, thank you.
We'll put Mark right here, right?
Oh yeah. If he wants to sit,
Yeah, to keep
stand.
his fingers warm.
This could be cool. Did you hear me? That was awesome. Man, she's just an amazing person. Yeah. And honestly, Elyse, your interview was fantastic.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I hope you had fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you're
had
just so
much
genuine.
fun.
Yeah, it was so
Listen,
genuine.
Next time, I'll just bring food and hang out.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, and so
Hot
She's
dogs
like,
next
is you
time?
buddies
as
gonna
we
eat it?
as we tell everybody, like we suck at getting emails back to people. So Tracy Coslow, you know, if you have like, hey, this is coming up or this initiative is coming up,
I do.
email her
Okay.
because she puts our schedule together of where we're going, when we're going, what time we're going to be there, what else is a guest that might mix or not mix,
Right.
whether we're full or not, and just email her and she'll do our. But this thing we're talking about, we don't have a guest for Toyota Friday. Toyota.
No. Do
So
it.
when we're, if you're, are you leaving anytime soon?
No. I was
So
gonna
when,
say,
'cause-
listen.
well, okay, cool.
Listen, I really, honestly, it's not a joke. I'm with my 6-year-old all day long. Like, I'm so happy to be with adults. Like, I want to hang out with you all day.
Well,
Please don't make me go back.
that's
No.
perfect then, because when we're done, we'll
My
talk to
kids
you
are
about
old.
Friday Toyota
Older.
tailgates. It's a
Okay.
Facebook Live thing.
All right.
All right.
Close to the fire.
So you can do those. Oh, you want to do your microphone and one of those, or
Where are
mine?
you sitting him?
Is he gonna? Are you gonna
I'm just gonna
stand right there? That's
Standing?
awesome. Yeah. So we'll put a
How
microphone
are you?
near your mouth.
Good to see you. I know, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Nice to meet you.
This is John.
So we'll put a microphone near your mouth and a microphone near your guitar, and then I'll just kind of monitor it and hear it.
Now, are you solo? How are we gonna?
How you gonna just introduce, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a songwriter, so it's Mark Ferrari music. But
Okay.
when I play out, sometimes it's solo, sometimes it's with some
With
bandmates.
like trios and such?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on like what the venue wants.
Okay.
and that kind of
All right, fantastic.
And the whole reason they're musical is because of For Real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, he was like, for real. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
How many
'cause
years
we,
ago
I mean,
was that?
we used to be together. We would open for your
I know. I was there. I know. Crazy stuff,
All
right?
right, Facebook Live is ready. So,
Where do you want me to
well,
go?
she'll hold you.
okay.
She'll hold a microphone
didn't
to your
want these
guitar
comments to
and
go
to your
like-
mouth.
I'm pretty loud too, so I mean, like,
Okay.
I mean, this song, I think it's appropriate. It's Black and Gold. It's original.
Oh, sweet.
And it gets
Smart.
played on the station. So
Here, let me put my mask on so that that's.
Are you toasty enough?
Oh yeah. I mean,
It is so nice, huh? You want, like I did last week,
Yeah,
John?
and then I'll just tell you if like back off one or the other.
Get one more. Okay. We'll be all right.
Good?
Yep.
So give me a test.
I'm sort of in your
on one or
personal
the other.
space.
Fine. You might, yeah, all right. As long as you're good.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
don't want to
fine.
like hit you.
You won't, and if you do, it's in.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Want me to do a sample
Yeah,
run?
if you don't mind.
Okay. Do you really want to give it a try? Everybody screaming black and gold.
That's good.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Want me to say anything or just start playing?
You can say hi to Facebook.
Okay. Hi, Facebook. My name's Mark Ferrari. The website's Mark Ferrari Music, and this is an original song called Black and Gold. Do you really want to give it a try? Everybody screaming black and gold. It's a battle where the strong survive, and I'm stronger than you know. 'Cause I don't need no alibi. I'm here to let the truth be told. If you wanna cross the line, you're going down from the black and gold. Black and gold. Black and gold. Black and gold. Give me a time, give me a place. Step right up, man, show your face. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You want a piece of me, well, take it by. Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick that needle right in my eye. If I should die before I wake, you better pray my soul he takes. Oh, do you really want to give it a try? Everybody screaming black and gold. It's a battle where the strong survive, and I'm stronger than you know. I don't need no alibi. I'm here to let the truth be told. If you wanna cross the line, going down from the black and gold. Whoa, black black and gold. Whoa, look in these eyes, make no mistake. I'm the image that you can't erase. You try to knock me out, you try to steal my grace. I'm back, yeah, I'm up, yeah, I'm right in your face. Mama told me when I left, live your life, have no regrets. If someone tries to take you down, you gotta stand your ground. Oh, do you really wanna give it a try? Everybody screaming black and gold. It's a battle where the strong survive, and I'm stronger than you know. I don't need no alibi. I'm here to let the truth be told. If you wanna cross the line, you're going down from the black and gold. Whoa, black and gold. Whoa, black and gold. Whoa, whoa. Everybody screaming black and gold. It's a battle where the strong survive, and I'm stronger than you know. 'Cause I don't need no alibi. I'm here to let the truth be told. If you wanna cross the line, you're going down from the black and gold. Whoa, black and gold. Whoa, black and gold. Whoa, black and gold. Whoa.
Oh my, that was all right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you
You
think?
can give him the yellow, actually.
Okay. You can take, yeah, you're interviewing you. It's not that easy, bro. Oh my gosh, listen.
Let's see. Hold on one second. I'm getting.
No, once you're there, it's like, oh my gosh.
You're like-
yeah. That's so funny.
All right, someone's.
Mark, that was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
I'm getting a hum. Am I getting a
No,
hum?
I'm getting him. Can't tell which one.
It was weird. It was hot,
Yellow.
hot in the back.
And then it's like a mullet.
Fire
it's
and
a
Ice.
fireplace mullet.
It's the Fire and Ice
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh my gosh. Is
All
the
right,
hum
here we
gone?
go. Yeah, I
Hum
think
gone?
we're good.
All right. Listen, do I pick good music? No, I can't even take
Rage.
the credit, but
Why? Oh, yeah, 'cause
usually I
Chris
am
did
the
this,
music,
yeah.
but yeah, it was Chris. Mark, this was excellent.
Thank you.
I mean, not that I'm surprised, have to give my background story, but as you said, coming up to perform, you were part of For Real, which was how many years ago now?
Oh my, probably 15. Yeah, it was
Is
a
it
long
15?
time. It was
Yeah.
a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were four guys, and mainly a cappella, but then there was some music. Did you do music behind you at some point? Okay.
Some tracks.
And
yeah.
you basically were opening up for Johnny Angel and the Halos everywhere. Like you were that band. And then everybody kind of did their own thing, and Chris was the sucker and stayed. But ultimately, I mean, wow, I wasn't expecting. What a powerhouse voice.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
fantastic.
Appreciate it.
What a good song. So
Thanks.
talk to us a little bit about, is this what you do full time, or is this your side gig?
This is my side gig. I mean, this is my passion, but
Yeah.
I mean, my day job is I'm a teacher. I teach at Bethel Park.
Oh,
School
okay.
District.
Okay.
So health and phys ed, I've been teaching there. God, this will show my age. I think it's like my 22nd year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I've always been doing music. I mean, music's been like my dream.
Yeah.
Always at a young age started writing songs.
Okay.
I always loved singing, but I think it's more challenging to write a good
No
song
question.
rather
Yeah.
than just sing. So,
Yeah.
So I started songwriting about, honestly, like grade school.
Wow.
But really got into it like really seriously in like my late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
When I picked up the guitar. So
How about that?
4 albums. I'm working on my 4th one right now. I mean, it's been a great ride. So I'm happy with it. It's been fun.
I mean, and most people can't say, from a music standpoint, they're either all in and they're doing symphony and cultural things that they can kind of continue the path. But Pittsburgh has really kind of stayed the course and allowed local music to really blossom, don't you think?
I agree. I mean, starting, when we used to open up for your dad, he was such a, a vehicle for us. He would open doors for us.
Yeah.
And then he ended up booking me at all the Atrias.
Oh, yeah.
So then I was doing that circuit, and then it just kind of, went on from there. But, yeah, I think Pittsburgh has definitely, stayed the course with live music. And I think it's gotten better over the years, too.
Yeah.
Which, when we were first starting, I felt like it was hard to find the right, more than one or two venues that you could repeat at.
Yes.
It was like Nick's Fat City and somewhere else, and it was like, all right, and then what?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and now there's these cafes. We talk about that a lot. It's, again, hate the word, but reinventing. You can kind of go into a coffee shop that has a little bit of space, and you're going to get a crowd of people who want to hear what you sound like. And original, and that's what I like.
Yeah, that's what I like, too. Like, when I go out to hear somebody, I like to hear a cover I know here and there. That's for sure, because, you want to be able to hear something as well.
Right, especially 80s music. Thank you.
That's right. Yeah, but I like to hear originals. I like to hear what people create, and just see how they express themselves. I don't judge it as like, oh, that was good, that was bad. I just like to hear it, and I give them credit for even putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've monopolized. Go ahead.
No. I'm hearing a buzz. So if you're hearing a buzz as you're listening to the podcast, I think I've worked it out at this point. So, songwriting. Do you like to write by yourself? Do you like to write, do you get inspiration from others, like sit around and make some napkin notes and then go home and write? What do you like to do?
I do prefer to write on my own. I think most of the songs on my albums I've written by myself. I've co-written a couple songs in Nashville with one of the songwriters that I'm friends with down there. And it turned out great. I love this song as well. But I don't know. I feel like I like taking... It's always good to collaborate because you learn from other people too. But sometimes I just have like... These thoughts that I need to be alone and I need to get it out my own way. I don't think I work as well. I'm not saying I won't write anymore with people, but I just feel like I like working on my own because I want it to be my own and I want to like get my message out there.
Well, you're professing how you feel.
Yeah, so and some of it's like really personal stuff.
Sure.
My grandma passed away in July with COVID in Italy, and she was in an old home. And, so that whole place got infected, and then she had to move from this home to this home. And she ended up testing negative twice after that, but she had such a weak heart that it just, she was 93, bless her soul.
Yeah.
But I wrote a song after that, and it's called Take Me There, and I performed it live when I opened up for Blue Oyster Cult. And I closed the show with it, and I'll tell you what, it was just...
Listen, he was like, Katie might have met Sidney Crosby, but I got Blue Oyster Cult.
I got some fun stories.
Awesome. Really?
Yeah, I wrote a Christmas song 8 years ago.
Okay.
And so that's the only one I ever written. My brother's a teacher, too, and he's like, Mark, I make these Christmas albums for my students. You got to sing one, and I'll put it on and make all these copies. For like 5 years, he kept asking me, I'm like, I'm not going to waste time recording a cover song in the studio of a Christmas song. I'm going to write one.
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't know how I'd do, but I knew I wanted it to be fun, and I wanted it to be kind of like a couple the night before Christmas. It's called Under My Tree. So full circle, I would sing that every year on the radio at Froggy. And so last year, I got invited to open up for CeeLo Green at Jurgles, by the way.
Boom, another drop.
Because he had a holiday Christmas show tour. And so they pitched my Christmas song, like, we think this would fit the whole thing. So I was the opener. And then later on, I closed the show with the Christmas song. It's called Under My Tree. And then I went into, they invited me into his dressing room. And so we're sitting around talking. As soon as I walked in, he said, oh, I like that, your Christmas song. And I said, oh, yeah, Under My Tree. And he started singing it back to me because there's this lick in it that.
Were you like, record?
I was laughing. We were all just started laughing. Like, his whole crew started laughing because they knew how freaked out I was.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome. It's just crazy.
I just picture, like, I'll be driving around town with the that's his song, right?
With the sleigh I'm in. It's Christmas.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Awesome, though. Like, that's such a musician's story. Right? Like, it just sort of happens. That's awesome.
If you could meet a musician, any living or dead, and have lunch with a musician, who would that be? Or a songwriter?
Honestly, it's for me personally, it's Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, is that right?
Why do musicians say that? Yeah,
I'm so inspired by him, and like I love what he writes. Like, he doesn't hide what he's feeling, and I like the way he changes the tunings with his guitar, and just has different sounds. And I kind of like took some keys, key points from him when I write too. But he's definitely my the person I look up to and
Like a
respect the
muse.
most.
Okay.
As like that songwriter in that style.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, would I not want to sit with Michael Jackson and talk
Oh,
to him?
Oh,
same.
sure, yeah.
Or, you
yeah.
know, I opened up for George Jones back in the day, so I mean that was my first opener. But I mean, there's been so many things. I honestly got to open up for my idol, who inspired me to write music, and that was Evan McCain. So that was a year and a half
wow.
ago. So, you know, there's been a lot of fun things that have come along the way, and you know, and Chris, you know, he uses me too, and I work with Fusion Entertainment, and I do a lot of pre-show parties at Star Lake, or what are we calling it this year?
I know it's back to Star Lake. Yeah, it's back to Star Lake. That's cool.
Would you rather write a hit song and not perform it, or perform it and not write it?
I'd rather write it.
Yeah?
I'd rather write it. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely. Because I would say I wrote it. You know, I don't care who sings it.
Yeah.
I'm still,
That's
you know,
right.
I wrote it and I still get paid.
Unless they sing it poorly. You know, if it's one of my kids, we won't mention who. We'd be like, you know, like one of my kids wants to sing and
Yeah.
he or she is not good, and
Oh,
I try
really?
not to say it, but it shows.
She cannot help herself, though.
My son, if you remember, my oldest son was like always on stage. He will be 18 and has no interest in music and is a
Really?
horrible singer. Admittedly, he's an athlete, but my middle son is very good, and then there's my daughter.
Listen, she cannot help herself. She cannot help herself. The day,
No, we're pretty honest in my house.
Yeah.
the day she taught her daughter how to put deodorant on was pretty much a
Oh,
get.
for
Yeah,
crying
it was
out
crazy.
loud. It was just me being
Anyways,
drag him
yeah.
on. But,
Hilarious.
you know, how interesting to hear. What is your take still on a cappella? Because there has to be, you can't just come out and sing a cappella, right? It's something that you have to really learn how to do. Do you feel like there is still that need for it? And not need. Is there still that desire to hear it?
I think it's still out. You mean for me or for people in
In general, what's your take?
Oh, I think it's still out there for sure. I mean, that's what inspired me years ago.
Okay.
Was just harmony and
like the barbershop stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. That I was inspired by that. I was inspired by Boys the Men. You know, I'm more like rock and everything now, but I wouldn't have had the ear that I have. I wouldn't have the ear I have now if I didn't sing in those groups and learn how to sing with other people. Because even though like you have a guitar and you're playing out, you're harmonizing with those people, and you have to still hear if you're on, if they're on,
Sure.
if they're off, if you're off, and you got to make those corrections and practice and stuff. So it definitely, I mean, I love doing that, and I love like how it helped me personally. Just
Yeah.
it really
It's an art. Yeah.
It is. It really
Yeah.
developed my ear and helped with dynamics on how to like phrase and your words and how to accent certain vowels
Breathe
so
through
blend
it,
better.
yeah.
And breathing for sure. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'd get so lightheaded singing those kind of songs because there's no stopping.
Sure.
You're the
yeah,
music.
right. You're
you
the
know?
music. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, even listening to, is this song titled Black and Gold?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Black and gold.
I mean, because I was hearing a little harmony there, Chris. I was like,
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, come
you
on
were
now.
dying to jump
I
in there.
was dying
Yeah.
to, but it's such a good song. What was? I mean, obviously, Black and Gold for the city. Would that be the inspiration?
Yes, it
And-
was definitely like a tribute to our hometown. I grew up in Hayes, which is outskirts of the city. I know you're North Side.
Yeah.
Well, your dad grew up in North Side,
Yeah,
right?
well, they're in Ross Township with me now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just having those city roots, and the city is like, so committed to their sport teams and their culture and everything else. So I just thought, well, I write all these songs. I can at least give one back to my hometown.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
That's such a good song.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a Pittsburgh song. It's just a good song. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's really
Thanks.
cool.
Yeah, it's.
Of course, we're talking
fun to
about
sing.
it like we've only heard clips of it
We've
so
only heard
far
clips of
in
it,
the
yeah, so-
podcast. We're about to hear the whole song at the end of this
can't
podcast.
wait.
Yeah.
Where does everybody find you?
The website is markferrarimusic.com. I just redid the website. I mean, so that's all fresh and new. Music can be purchased on iTunes. I'm on Spotify, Amazon.com, all those music outlets.
Yeah.
So YouTube. My YouTube channel is Calling All Cars 99. So there's but on the website it takes you right to it. There's
Okay.
over 65 videos you can watch.
Awesome.
For me, I opened up for Natasha Bedingfield last year, and there was CeeLo and Uncle Cracker, and there's been so many. I was supposed to do Uncle Cracker again in October.
I want to touch your eyeballs now. Like he's so Uncle. Oh, I love Uncle Cracker.
I'm sorry that John just said I want to touch your eyeballs right now.
He met Uncle Cracker. Oh.
Touch your eyeballs. Oh my gosh. No, this is so awesome. We're going to ask you the question of the day, and we're going to do our outro, but then we want to hear one more song if that's okay, so
Sure.
Facebook
Yeah.
Live can enjoy
Cool.
this. So
That's awesome.
question of the day is, would you be able to identify the seven dwarves, actually it's a V at that point. It's a V, yeah, or the reindeer?
Definitely the reindeer.
See, it's
Yeah.
like unanimous.
Yeah, the reindeer. It's just from the song.
The song.
It's just
Why didn't this question go this well
It
on the
didn't.
Facebook?
Right,
All
I don't
these
know.
guys like that.
I think
don't
because
know.
it was yours. Maybe if I had thought
I think
of
you're
it.
right.
I think
Yeah.
I know two dwarves, like the
Yeah.
sleepy, dopey, or
Yeah.
Right, and
everyone has
sleazy
said-
is not one of
Oh,
them, as we
sleazy.
established.
No.
They
It's
should
not one.
They should update that.
Yeah, right.
Update the
Well,
dwarves.
Mark, can't thank you enough for being on the
No
podcast,
question.
and thank you to all of our guests. Thanks to Chris and his wife for having us here at their fireplace for the J&D waterproofing number 2, number 2, right, in the fireplace here in the North Hills. Thanks to Elyse from Burgh, Nosh.
Yeah.
And you'll be following up with her in a little bit here. Thanks to Harry Larry for coming
Harry
from
Larry,
J&D waterproofing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And our Katie Dudders doesn't get any better than her.
Yeah.
And of course, thanks to Rorik Honda.
Yeah, and we have to thank, before we thank Rorik Honda, thank Mancini's Bread, thanks to North Country Brewing, Fathom Pub Sauce, and thanks to Mary Mac Bakehouse, who helped us package our
You know who we
2021
forgot?
chairs.
Heinz History Center. I have 4 passes for Chris to get into the Heinz History Center when they reopen.
And Elyse brought us Bartram House Bakery. So,
Yum.
anyways, now we can thank Rorik Honda, which is Rorik Honda starts a new slate this week. While used cars are always an option to buy, a slew of 2021 models are in demand since production changed in the car options for many 2020 vehicles.
Because of that darn COVID. So whether an oldie but a goodie or a new must-have high-tech vehicle, visit Rorik.com for all of your vehicle needs. And Facebook, you get to enjoy one more song from Mark Ferrari.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I'm going to keep recording this just in
if
case.
you're cool to do. Yeah, he was fine to do 2 songs.
Okay, I'll keep these in the mix.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just
Okay. I don't think I need a tune. It should be okay. All right.
Good?
You let me know when you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Yep, you get close and we'll just give us a little test.
Drunk on love when I'm sober, 24/7 hangover. Drunk on love when I'm sober, a 24/7 hangover. You're my wild, you're my candy, you're my crazy. You're my yes, you're my no, you're my maybe. You're the reason I'm standing here alive. You're the reason I'm heading for disaster. You could be my happy ever after. And I can't help thinking about the night you told me love is like a fire that he can burn. You ride the tide and then you feel the turn. It's a hunger, you feed it all the time. You gotta lay it on the line. Oh, I've been drying. My heart's beating faster than the speed of light. And I will try to show you the desperate in these brown eyes. Drunk on love when I'm sober, 24/7 hangover. Take me back, take me back. It's love suicide, it's love suicide. You're my drug, you're my pill, you're my addiction. You're my cure, you're my medical condition. You're the reason this love cuts like a knife. You're my servant, you're my slave, you're my master. You're my pleasure, you're my pain, it doesn't matter. 'Cause I'm rising up like Fahrenheit. Remember, love is like a fire that he can burn. You ride the tide and then you feel the turn. It's a hunger, you feed it all the time. You gotta lay it on the line. Oh, I've been drying. My heart's beating faster than the speed of light. And I will try to show you the desperate in these brown eyes. Drunk on love when I'm sober, 24/7 hangover. Take me back, why don't you take me back? It's love suicide. I'm killing all the parts of me that make it hard for you to believe in And if I wasted time, then I apologize. It's love suicide. Oh, I'm in drive, my heart's beating fast, so alive. And I will try to show you the desperate in these brown eyes. Drunk on love when I'm sober, I'm 24/7, ain't over. Take me back. Why don't you take me back? Why don't you take me back? I say, why don't you take me back? It's love suicide. It's love suicide. It's love suicide. It's love suicide.
Oh my God.
Say goodbye to Facebook.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye, guys.